I'm joined by Derek O'Brien, the Trinamool Congress's leader in the Rajya Sabha. And Derek O'Brien, the fact is that as Rahul Srivastav again pointed out, both for the president and vice president election, the impression we got is of the opposition in disarray. Vice president election, Trinamool Congress has decided to abstain. You won't even support Margaret Alva, chosen by the likes of Sharad Pawar, backed by the Congress. And this suggests that the real battle is to occupy the opposition leadership space. Mamta, Kejriwal, Pawar, Sonia Rahul Gandhi, all of you are at odds with each other.
You mentioned some names along with the Chief Minister of Bengal and the chairperson of the Trinamool Congress. So let me first address the names which you mentioned, with all due respect to the other names you mentioned. Mr. Pawar. Mr. Pawar and the NCP are not part of any government in India. They were in a coalition government. You mentioned Mr. Kejriwal, you mentioned Sonia Gandhi. Let me tell you, Ms. Mamta Banerjee is a 7-time MP. She's a 3-time Chief Minister. And in May 2021, I'm just putting out the facts, the Congress and the CPM in an alliance in Bengal and BJP support on the ground, Mamta Banerjee won almost a 3/4 majority. This is not the time to look at that. The bigger issue here is the BJP have to be defeated in 2024. And there are two kinds of opposition parties, like-minded parties, since everyone is using the term like-minded parties. Yes, we're all like-minded parties who will do all it takes to remove this bigoted, divisive BJP party who are ruining the institutions of this country, who do not manage to give jobs to young people, who do not manage to prevent the dollar from hitting 80
Mr.
rupees.
O'Brien, I'm
These are the
sorry
issues.
to intervene. You're giving the rhetoric.
Kinds.
You didn't answer my
Mr.
question.
Sardesai, just
you have not even stood by the opposition when it comes to the vice president election. The perception is of disarray. The perception is of disarray and of one-upmanship. You yourself said Mamta Banerjee is a 7-time MP, 3-time Chief Minister. Sharad Pawar doesn't have a certain state. Kejriwal has 2 states, by the way, now. Punjab and Delhi. Some would say city-state. But the fact is, you're not answering my question of the opposition being in disarray.
No. Mr. Sardesai, I am answering your question. There are 2 kinds of parties in the opposition. Like-minded parties. Yes, we are all like-minded parties who need to remove the BJP. You're telling me I'm giving you rhetoric. Employment is rhetoric. 80 rupees to the dollar is rhetoric. No, it's not rhetoric. It's the reality. And opposition will raise this. Now, there are 2 kinds of like-minded parties. Like-minded, yes, we're all like-minded. But there's a difference. On one side, you have parties like the NCP, like the Shiv Sena, like the RJD, like the DMK, who are allies or work with the Congress. They are electoral allies or on governments with the Congress. The TMC is not. And this is where we want to make a distinction. So when the Congress party announces a vice president candidate, some parties all the parties who are allied with it will line up and support it. We have to make our point, and in this case we made our point that, listen, you can't give us a 10-minute notice because the secretary of the CPIM and Congress will get together, they'll announce a candidate and we'll all line up. No. So what did we say? You can't give us 10 minutes notice. Give us the name and then we're having a press conference in 15 minutes. Please agree. No. Treat us as equals. We'll find opportunities. The BJP can be defeated in 2024, but the grand old party have to treat MPs, parties like the Trinamool Congress, both inside Parliament and outside Parliament, as equal partners.
Okay.
That does not, and there's another party here which none of you do any television programs about. You're talking about the Congress, the TMC, the DMK. What about the original ally of the BJP now, which nobody discusses, Mr. Naveen Patnaik and the Biju Janata Dal. They are the allies of the BJP. Allies of the BJP. So the opposition, we will find ways to find common issues, agenda, where we will make this happen. This was a vice president. There's no question of supporting.
Can I ask you one last time before you leave us? Kaun banega challenger? Who will be the challenger? Isn't there one upmanship, yes or no, over who occupies the leadership space of the opposition? Quick answer.
I can speak for my party, the Trinamool Congress. The chairperson, Mamata Banerjee, wants to be the squirrel in the garden. We will do the dirty work. She's not interested who will become, she will become not interested in being the Prime Minister. We'll be the squirrel in the garden. We will do all the dirty work in the garden. We will do all the dirty work to defeat the BJP. But here it is, don't take the Trinamool Congress for granted. This is the same Trinamool Congress who fought a very difficult election in 2021.